everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 16. Oh, it's sad. Married at First Sight Boston is almost finished and decision day is around the corner. So in this episode, I'll review my couples as I normally do. If there's anything else to add, I'll add at the end. It was a really peaceful episode, which makes quite a difference because there wasn't really that much drama going on. So it was more relaxed and more easier to sort of focus on. Anyway, I'll start off with Mark and Lindsay. Mark and Lindsay, for me, it was nice to see them when things are calm. It was nice to see them when things are calm, and it was nice to see them sort of meet up with family and have conversations. When Lindsay met up with a friend, yes, she did make one sort of sarcastic remark, but she seemed to be more at peace. She seemed to be more, not to say appreciative, but she seemed to see some of the good qualities, although very few that she mentioned that Mark sort of has brought to the table. Mark, on his part, I think he realized why the experts matched him with Lindsay, because Lindsay, as much as she talks a lot of crap and as much as she's a bit crass at times, when shit hits the fan, she's very supportive. She will stand by you, as her dad said, that you'd rather she love you than to hate you, because Mark has mentioned how she's been there for him through some of the most challenging times, which I think is something that he needs. He needs someone who's supportive, but he also needs someone who sort of, because I think he's an easygoing guy, he needs someone who's able to say to him, Mark, this is enough. You have to tell people to stop. And I think these are the qualities that the experts saw in Lindsay, and this is why they matched her with him. And so, as I've said before, when they're good, they're very good. When they're bad, they're very bad. And this week, you could see how very good they are together when things are going good, because even when Mark was injured, Lindsay stepped up and she sort of comforted him. They had decent conversations. So, for me, I think as much as they've had very bad situations like Lindsay going off in the toilet with the producers and stuff, I think the good, even though it's very minimal, that we've been shown far outweighs the bad. That if I want them to say a yes on decision day, my reason being, they can always work on the fine kinks. They can go to couples counseling. They can go to counseling individually, and they'll have a strong foundation, because the positives, in my opinion, are way, way better than most couples that are still married on Married at First Sight. They're way better than Jamie and Doug. They're way better than Jamie and Beth. So for me, we're at their stages when it was almost decision day. So for me, I don't see why they would say no. I am hopeful that they say yes. I know it's unpopular opinion, but I'm hopeful that they say yes, because Mark sort of mellows Lindsay, and Lindsay sort of helps Mark have a backbone enough to stand up for himself. Not that I'm saying he doesn't, but she sort of gives him the push to sort of say no, because I think it's very difficult for him to say no. I know there is issues with them and the fact that Mark still hasn't transitioned and is still sort of living in the past with his family and memories from his past. So I think Lindsay will be good for him in that sense. Then we got to Noy and Steve. Noy and Steve have always been my favorite couple, but I've sort of struggled with some of the issues that they've had. I know Noy, when she was speaking to her friend, did sort of graze around the outskirts of the fact that, a job and stuff. And for me, it's a non-factor. I've said this before. I've said this, I think, way before everybody else jumped on board to say Steve has money. I said it before, I think around episode 5, 6. So for me, I don't think there are any red flags on Noy's part when it comes to Steve. I don't see any reason why she should say no to Steve, because if it's about the money, Steve has said he's got money saved aside. I saw him on After Party saying, yeah, if she's worried about me having so much money, and they sort of hinted towards a figure, and he said, yeah, I've got that easy. And so I don't think that's an issue for her. I think the other red flag she brought up was the fact that he wants to split. She can't expect to, just because she's physically working, just not participate in the household, upkeep of the household. So that to me is a non-factor. I think she needs to learn to compromise. If Steve is willing to compromise and have 3 children, because she's rigid on 3 children, she needs to compromise on her part. In regards to Steve, I think Steve is right to say he is concerned that Noi doesn't want to move in with him after decision day. And to me, it doesn't make sense. How are you a married couple when you're living in separate houses? I think Steve is on board. I think Steve is going to say yes because he was looking for a ring. And I think he's going to actually propose on decision day. And I hope Noi doesn't stand in her own way. And I hope she moves in with Steve and they and they continue to do the work and they will have a successful marriage. I think this season of all the couples, they're the ones that have been seamless and they're the ones, because on Married at First Sight, you always get that couple every season that you can tell that this is why they're matched and they appreciate that fact and they click and they get along and they work on their marriage until they say yes and then they stay married. So for them, I hope that happens. Katina and Olujuwon. Katina and Olujuwon, for me, I've said this from the jump that I don't get it. Something is not right. There's something that we're not being shown or there's something that's not being discussed because Katina seems to be all in and Katina appears to be wanting to say yes. But then Olujuwon seems to be trying to talk her out of saying yes, in my opinion. Because some of the comments that he's making, oh, you need to be selfish, you need to think of yourself first, I'm going to be selfish. It's sort of like he was trying to put her off so that she doesn't say yes. So it doesn't make sense to me. I know he said he came onto the show wanting to get married. People were skeptical. His family and friends were skeptical about him wanting to get married. But something doesn't seem right, in my opinion. I haven't really seen any growth as compared to the other couples. And I don't like the way that Olujuwon tries to make excuses for his behavior. A lot of people have been through a tough time. That's no excuse to be rude or demeaning to other people. And the one thing that he put me off on when he was speaking to his coach, and he said the same thing last week, that she wants to go to school, she wants to do this, I want to travel, I can't put my life on hold. And I watched Love is Blind. I don't know whether anybody else watches Love is Blind. And I remember Jared saying that Ayana wanted to go to school. He was very supportive of that. And his concern when it came to marrying her was, would he be able to financially support the two of them? Not that he was saying, she can't do it. His problem was he would have to make sacrifices in order for her to achieve her goal. Whereas Olujuwon is more concerned about, I need to travel, I've done this. Olujuwon for me is a red flag walking. I normally don't try to say that about people I don't know, but the bad that we've been shown far outweighs any good that we've seen. Apart from the date that he arranged today, we haven't really seen him do anything for Katina. So for me, it's a bit disheartening, really. I don't know. I don't know. For me, I don't think they should say yes. I think they should go. I think the experts need to really have a therapy session with them before they ask them to make a decision. I think they really have to have a long sort of conversation with them. I wish Pastor Carl had an opportunity to sit down again with them before decision day. Dr. Pepper's done her best, but I don't know. Whatever happens with them, I don't know. And then my second favorite couple is Jasmine and Michael. Jasmine and Michael and Noi and Steve, I like them from the jump, from day one, and I was really hoping they would stay married. For me, I see Jasmine and Michael saying yes, unpopular opinion. I see them saying yes, and I see them having a successful marriage because Jasmine and Michael, I think I put them in the same brackets as Greg and Dion when they started, Jamie and Doug, Shanice and Jeff T. They are couples that initially they weren't attracted to one another. They put in the work, and all of them are actually still married. I think Dion and Greg, I think, are almost 3-4 years married. Shanice and Jeff T are almost 5 years married, and Jamie and Doug were season 1. So I think as long as they now have a friendship, which means they have something to build on. I think they need to move away from the cameras. They need to say yes on decision day, move away from the cameras, work on their marriage, and work on the romantic aspect of their marriage, away from any influences from the producers and the cameras and stuff and the pressure, and just continue to put in the work. And I think Michael has fallen in love with Jasmina. I think Michael is all in, and Michael would definitely say yes. I think Jasmina as well is 80 to 95% in. And I really hope they really give it a go, because I can see a future for them. I like how they're now become friends, how they're very supportive, how, as I said last week, their body language says more than what they are saying verbally, especially Jasmina, because Jasmina is saying, oh, I don't have any romantic feelings, I don't this, but her body language, is letting her down, because she seems more physical with him, more intimate with Michael. So I really hope they say yes. I think if nothing else, Mark, Olujuan and Katina are the only couple I'm on the fence. The other three, I can see them saying yes and putting in the work and having successful relationships. So I really hope they look at the whole picture and don't just focus on the bad and end up regretting their decisions. Anyway, I digress. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you next time. I understand next week it will be, previous participants sort of giving their opinions. I'll try and do a review of that, and I'll do a little clip where I sort of put up my predictions of who will say yes and who will say no later, and my reasons for why I think they should say so. Thanks, guys. Bye.